Why PNG's support for the US and Israel against Iran protects our sovereignty, not threatens it. Hello everyone, PNG Patriot here. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about the real issues affecting Papua New Guinea and our place in the world. A week ago, we released a video explaining why hosting allied military cooperation with the United States, Australia, and the United Kingdom is important for protecting Papua New Guinea's sovereignty, even while we maintain our national policy of friends to all and enemies to none. If you haven't seen that video yet, the link is in the description. Today, we're responding to some Facebook posts from a number of PNG commentators that have been circulating online. These posts criticize our Foreign Minister, Justin Tkachenko, for supporting the United States and Israel in confronting Iran, which many international reports identify as a state sponsor of terrorism. According to these critics, PNG supporting the United States and Israel is dangerous. They claim it drags Papua New Guinea into foreign conflicts, violates our neutral foreign policy, and could even threaten our independence. But is that really true? Today we're going to examine their arguments point by point and explain why supporting democratic allies and strengthening our security partnerships actually protects Papua New Guinea's sovereignty rather than threatening it. First, we need to clarify something very important. Papua New Guinea's foreign policy principle of friends to all, enemies to none does not mean isolation. It does not mean we refuse to work with other countries or defend global stability. Instead, it means PNG seeks peaceful relations with all nations while still protecting our national interests. Strategic partnerships are part of that policy. Working with allies for defense cooperation does not mean we surrender our sovereignty. It means we strengthen our ability to defend it. This is why Papua New Guinea signed the United States-Papua New Guinea Defense Cooperation Agreement, which allows cooperation with the United States in areas like training, humanitarian assistance, maritime security, and infrastructure development. Under that agreement, PNG still owns the facilities, PNG laws still apply, and PNG remains fully sovereign. This is partnership, not control. Now let's address another important point. Many Papua New Guineans claim that Western allies want to control Papua New Guinea or take our resources. But if that were truly their intention, we must ask a very simple question. Why would they have allowed Papua New Guinea to become independent in 1975? At that time, Australia administered PNG. They could have kept the territory under colonial control if they wanted. Instead, on Independence Day, the Australian flag was lowered and the Papua New Guinea flag was raised. That moment symbolized our birth as a sovereign nation. If our allies wanted to dominate us permanently, they would never have allowed that to happen. But they did. They respected our right to govern ourselves. History also teaches us another important lesson. Just imagine for a moment what would have happened if Papua New Guinea had been lost to Japan during World War II. The Pacific War was fought fiercely across this region. Battles such as the Kokoda Track Campaign were critical in stopping Japanese expansion in the Pacific. If Australia and the Allied forces had not defended Papua New Guinea during the war, our country could have ended up under Japanese imperial rule. Would we have been allowed to become an independent nation? History suggests that would have been very unlikely. Instead, after the Allied victory, PNG remained under the Australian administration until independence in 1975. That historical path ultimately allowed us to become a free and democratic nation. So our freedom today did not appear out of nowhere. It was shaped by history, by war, and by alliances. Now let's return to the criticism circulating on Facebook. Some critics argue that Foreign Minister Justin Tkachenko, supporting the United States and Israel against Iran, drags PNG into unnecessary conflicts. They claim labeling Iran a sponsor of terrorism is simply Western propaganda. But global security experts and intelligence reports have repeatedly documented Iran's support for its terror proxy groups across the Middle East. Groups such as Hezbollah in Lebanon, Hamas in Gaza, Houthis in Yemen, and similar Islamist Shia groups in Syria and Iraq have received financial or military backing connected to Iran's regional strategy. These activities contribute to instability and conflict across the Middle East. So when democratic nations push back against terrorism networks, they are attempting to maintain global security. Supporting those efforts does not mean Papua New Guinea becomes anyone's puppet. It means we stand with countries that support democracy, human rights law, and global stability. Another argument critics raise is that military partnerships could make Papua New Guinea a target, but the opposite is actually true. Defense alliances act as deterrents. PNG also signed the Puk-Puk Mutual Defense Treaty, strengthening military cooperation with Australia. Under this agreement, an attack on Papua New Guinea would be treated as a serious security threat to Australia as well. That dramatically increases our national security. Instead of standing alone with a small defense force, PNG gains access to training, intelligence sharing, joint exercises, disaster response capability, and military modernization. These partnerships make us stronger. Critics sometimes argue that allowing allied military presence makes a country a pawn. But that argument ignores global reality. Many strong and independent countries host allied military bases, including Germany, Japan, South Korea, and others. These countries are not controlled by the United States. They remain powerful, sovereign nations with strong economies and democratic governments. Military cooperation does not remove sovereignty. It strengthens security. Papua New Guinea faces real security challenges today. Illegal fishing in our waters, transnational crime networks, strategic competition in the Pacific, natural disasters requiring rapid response. Allied partnerships bring real benefits: infrastructure upgrades, economic development in ports and bases, disaster relief capability, training for our defense force, and stronger protection for our maritime territory. This is what we call smart sovereignty, strengthening our independence through cooperation. Papua New Guinea must understand the world we live in today. The global system is becoming more unstable. Conflicts are increasing. Powerful countries are competing for influence. In that environment, neutrality does not mean isolation. It means building partnerships that protect our sovereignty while maintaining diplomatic relations with all nations. Our alliances with democratic countries helped shape our history. They helped defend this region during World War II. They respected our independence in 1975. And today, they continue to help strengthen our security. Supporting cooperation with these allies does not threaten Papua New Guinea's sovereignty. It helps protect it, because in the end, a truly independent nation must be strong enough and wise enough to choose the partnerships that secure its future. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to PNG Patriot YouTube channel. And tell us in the comments, should Papua New Guinea continue strengthening its alliances to protect our sovereignty? See you in the next video.